Hello, everybody. Daniel Thompson of the Uptown Observer here with my good friend Koerri Elijah. And the reason why we're sitting here today is because, well, recently Corey called me with a decision that he's made that I think is huge news for the city of Kenosha and the future of our city and direction of it. And so I thought, why not bring Corey on camera and have him tell you guys as well? So, Corey, all yours.
Well, Dan, thank you so much. It's great to see you. I love how we always kind of connect at these pivotal moments in our lives and in the city and things like that. So, thank you for allowing me to come on your platform to talk to everybody out there.
No, of course.
The thing that I want to let everybody know is, we've gone through a lot in the city of Kenosha. Me and Dan, we've had front row seats. We've brought it to you so you could all see, and we've continued over the years to try to do what we can to improve the city for the better, whether it just be speaking out, highlighting things that are going on, providing information. Um, it's always been a personal goal of mine to be an active member of the community in my own personal way. And with that being said, I've had a lot of time to kind of see how things are run, see how things are operated. I've been in a lot of conversations with people on all levels of the city, citizens, elected officials, uh, national officials coming in, people, members of the media, surveyors, all different types of people, developers, all different types of people spoken to about things pertaining to the city. Um, and throughout my journey, my path of collecting this information and providing this information to everyone, I've kind of been going through everything that we've experienced, and kind of weighing that with my own personal life experience since I've lived in Kenosha my entire life, never lived anywhere else. And while weighing all of the facts, weighing all of the information, and kind of talking to people in the community, hearing their concerns, I've decided, in the most long-winded way possible, that now is the best time for someone like myself to really step up and really try to make a real change. And that's why I've decided to run for mayor of the city of Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Now that's of course a big decision. Uh, I think you would be our first black mayor, maybe even our youngest mayor. But kind of in looking at everything and with everything we've experienced with local government over the past few years, good and bad, what kind of sparked you to finally make that decision to jump up to that level of trying to make a change?
Well, like I said, I've lived here my entire life, right? Growing up, my grandmother, she adopted me and my brothers, and she retired from Chrysler, right? She retired on disability from Chrysler. She literally broke her back, literally, had a bone from her wrist fused in her back, working at Chrysler, broke her back, gave everything to the company. And they treated her well. They treated her really well. She was able to support me and my brothers, make sure that we grew up in a nice side of town, never needed anything at all, right? Um, Growing up, she would always tell me, because she never thought that I would graduate high school. Honestly, I don't know why, but she didn't. And when I did, it was the sweetest thing. She was like, "You proved me wrong. You got me." Um, but she would always tell me, she was like, "It'll be okay. You can always get a job at Chrysler." It's like, as long as you can work with your hands. She always instilled in me and my brothers to go out and get it. Um, and go work.
Yeah.
Before I could work, she made me and my brothers go volunteer at the Field of Dreams. So we were out in the crops, in the fields, picking crops, planting things to provide for the homeless community and people in need. Right. When I was able to work, then I was like, all right, well, I can go make some money, but it instilled that work ethic in me. Right. But she always told me, hey, you could always just get a job at Chrysler. It'll be okay. Right. I graduated high school in 2007. The last Chrysler plant was shut down in 2008, and fully Chrysler was out of here by 2010.
Yeah.
Right. So, luckily, I was able to go to college. Um, I wasn't planning on going to college, so my pathway there was kind of kind of bumpy, but at least I suppose there was some way, there was like something for me to look towards. But when that path didn't work out for me, I came back into the city looking for work, and I was like, all right, I'll be able to find a good job in this restaurant industry, you know. Not saying that that's not good work. Service industry, you can make good money. It definitely paid bills for
Oh
some
yeah.
years, you know. I was able to learn a lot and work my way up to the ranks, do some management, and it definitely helped me as a human being.
Oh
But
yeah.
monetarily, when it comes to building up your life and being able to obtain equity and, you know, build up a strong family for yourself, it's not necessarily an ideal industry.
Yeah.
So I found myself kind of in a weird limbo where, as a kid, I wanted to be a chef, but that was like a childhood thing. And as an adult, I was like, oh no, this isn't viable for the lifestyle that I want to have, you know.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, you're that fraction that kind of get pulled up into the corporate world of the restaurant industry,
Yeah.
you're basically always just going to be a worker, and that's just not my mentality. That's
Yeah.
not how I was raised. You know, I was always raised to be someone to go out, get it, work hard, and work your way up, and, you know, not be taken advantage of. And,
Yeah.
you know, that industry is really an industry where people get taken advantage of. So again, in the most long-winded way to say this, I set off on this path in Kenosha, looking around for substance, right? Like, how can I build the life that I want in the city, right? How can I have the dream that I've looked at as a kid in the place where I grew up, right? And there just was no outlet for anything like that. You know, there was a lot of partying that went on. There was a lot of death. I've lost a lot of friends over this period of time, and it's all because the city was set up in a way where young people weren't the focal point, right?
Right.
At the moment where young people should have been the focus of the city, they were focusing on the retirees, right? And
Right.
not to say that they shouldn't have been focusing on the retirees, because they've done a great debt for our society, right? They provided so much. They provided
Oh
the
yeah.
framework for where we are,
No,
right?
it's totally
And
important.
and they deserve to be taken care of. But we have to remember that all of this is based off of tax dollars. You need a tax base, right? And you need people to be able to fund these systems like Brookside, where we have people going that are, you know, in retirement age, right?
Yep.
All of that is funded by the city and the county. It's all funded by now people in our generation, right?
Right.
And people, at least that I know personally, and I can say I know quite a few people my age with a lot of disposable income are few and far between. And where are we going to be 10 years from now? Where are we going to be 20 years from now? Are we just expecting to just import everyone into the city to take care of our aging population? Or are we going to create an environment that is ideal for everyone, where it's equitable for everyone, where people of all ages are able to live out their dreams, you know? We're in an age now where everything is becoming more decentralized. You know, all of these major industries that have the United States thrive, the film industry, entertainment industry, all of these industries that really are the backbone of Kenosha,
Yeah.
are now more decentralized than ever. And now I feel is the best opportunity to take advantage of decentralization of industries, take advantage of the wants and needs of millennials and Gen Z. It provided an environment where they can thrive, right? Not only are those major industries decentralized, most industries are decentralized now. You know, coming out of the pandemic, we've seen that, you know, although a lot of, you know, corporations and things like that don't necessarily want people to work remotely, we know that it's possible. And for startups, you know, people like me and you,
Yep.
we see the potential of these new technologies,
Oh
right?
yeah.
A lot of people in the older generation are completely just afraid of AI, right?
Oh.
But me, I'm looking at AI like, oh man, this reduces my workload so much. There's so many scripts that I don't necessarily have to write myself that I could just have ChatGPT write for me. I go through, I edit it, and I have it how I need it to be. If I need to do research, I can have ChatGPT do research for me. A lot of the plans that I'll be talking about later with my campaign, I was able to flush out the viability of these plans using AI technology. So just having someone that is forward thinking enough, someone that's not afraid of things that are new and not afraid of things that are scary and not afraid of things that, maybe aren't your cup of tea, but are able to engage with them, interact with them, utilize them if necessary. We need individuals like that to lead Kenosha into the future. And, this is no personal slight against, any of our opponents, anyone that, may step up to the plate. But I feel like I am the perfect person to do that. If this was Chicago and there was, 5 million people here in the city or something like that, I could understand concerns. Yeah. But in a city of this size, with the history that this city has and how the city operates so communally, how everybody's so tight-knit, again, I feel like I'm the perfect person to find the right people, to assemble the right team, to have people that actually care about the city, that care about everyone's futures, not just certain individuals' futures, friends' futures, family members, businesses' futures, but literally, honestly, everyone's future, including the youth, So I have children. I want them to grow up and have at least the level of, lifestyle that I had, right?
Yeah.
And as a millennial, it's nearly impossible. We have 4% of the nation's wealth. 4%.
Yep.
When Gen Xers were our age, they had 9%. When Boomers were our age, they had 21% of the nation's wealth. But we're still surviving, and we're still making it, and we're still finding a way to survive, right?
Right.
And our ingenuity is what's going to take not just the city of Kenosha, but I feel the entire nation and maybe even the entire world to the place where it needs to be. It's just time for us to be able to do it. It's time for our generation to have our chance, And again, this is no personal slight. I'm not being ageist or anything. You can learn from so many people, but when it comes to a leader, when it comes to the mentality that is trickling down, I feel like it's just time for. I'm not young. I'm gonna be 35 in September. I could run for president. So
you just make me feel old.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
That's true.
So yeah, that's why I decided to run.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that you're taking this step, and I'm very proud that you're doing it, because not a lot of people our age, throughout the past couple of years, they've been trying to get people to run for various things. Not a lot of people in the millennial generation around here are willing to step forward, especially not all the way to let's take on the mayor's office. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm proud to be the person that you're using the platform of to tell everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to be a great conversation that follows in the months to come when you campaign and things like that. So
yeah, I look forward to it. I really do. That's honestly the thing that I am most excited for, the conversations. Because as you know, like that's who I am. I'm not afraid to have those conversations. I'm not afraid to have those tough conversations, and I think we need to have them, right? We've seen people in leadership, when tough conversations are being had, even in the Common Council, abstain from even speaking, right? And I feel it's okay for a leader to say, "Hey, I don't know," but I don't feel it's okay for a leader to abstain.
Yeah. No, and it goes back to what we've been talking about this for years now. It's just people don't talk as much anymore. They don't talk.
Right.
We don't discuss things. We yell things back and forth. So
Mm.
the prospect of actually talking things out again is a welcome one.
Yeah, no, it greatly is. It's something that I feel is incredibly lacking, and I know there will be conversation, there will be talking points of, oh, we've made great efforts to make sure that there's conversations being had, and we have public speaking, and we allow everybody to voice their opinion, and it's well, there's nothing more that we can do. But that, to me, that's just it's a crock of BS, honestly. There's always more that you can do. There's always ways to make things more accessible, even with just how information is presented and how it's accessed. It's nice that the city has a website. It's nice that you can go onto that website and you can access the common council meetings every once in a while when they actually work. But things like that could be on YouTube. Everyone has access to YouTube regardless of what level of smart device that you have. If you have a smart device, you can go on YouTube. You can have an iPhone 3G and you can go on YouTube on it, right? For free, no paywall. You can subscribe, you get the notifications and all of that good stuff. And the fact that the city doesn't have a YouTube channel just to put up information alongside of their own website, to me, is ridiculous. It's easy. It's going to take 10 minutes to set up. People will be able to comment. When people comment, you can actually go and you can see what the citizens are actually saying. And if there's bots, you can moderate the comments and get all of the fake comments out of there. But you'll actually see what people are saying, and other people will see the opinions that people have. Just updating all of our technology is something that's completely necessary, and it's not. It's cost effective and something that is simple to do, like I said. So, yeah. I'm like, there's a lot that I've been thinking about, man. There's again, I don't want to get into too much. I don't want anybody on the team to get too upset at me for just going off, but there's a lot of things that we can do as a city to prepare the city for the future.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that people are upset about that we can audit and we can change and we can make better for people, right? There's ways to mitigate traffic, right? You just have to think outside of the box. You have to be forward thinking, right? And what I can say is I have ideas and I have plans to help mitigate traffic, travel, and people's concerns about being able to access medicine or a doctor. There's systems that you can implement that will help everyone. And it's really just about looking at technology, seeing where technology is going, and being the first to say, hey, we need to implement that. When, not to go off topic or whatnot, but there was a major decision that happened recently in the city where the Common Council decided to reduce the first possession marijuana fine down to $1, right?
Right.
And the reason I bring this up is because there was a gentleman, I believe, Anthony Nudo, I believe it was, and he was in attendance. And I know that he's helping with one of my opponent's campaigns, and this is the reason why I bring this up. It's about thought process. It's about not waiting for other people. So he's having a conversation with someone else, and he's saying, "Well, I really just feel like this is a state's issue. I really feel like the Senate should, they should write legislation. The House should write legislation. They should get it passed, and the governor should finally, at the end of it, make his final decision. It should go through the state and not go through the city. It's not the city's job to do these things, right?" And to me, and I turn around and I say, That's kind of regressive, I feel like we should be a leader. I think we should lead by example and show the rest of the state that it's completely ridiculous that people are being charged for these things, right? If this is what the people are saying, then we should be the city that follows what the people are saying. And if the rest of the state looks at us crazy, they don't live in Kenosha. That was our decision. We are our own city. We live here and we have to deal with the ramifications of what goes on. Not Madison, not Racine, not Milwaukee, not Neenah, not Green Bay. Kenosha does. And if they want to follow our lead, that would be great. Most people that are entering Wisconsin are entering Wisconsin through Kenosha.
True.
Because if you're going somewhere in Wisconsin, probably going to be going to Milwaukee. Maybe you're going to Madison. Maybe you're going to Green Bay. But if you're driving a vehicle, more than likely, unless you're coming from Iowa or Minnesota, if you're coming from the East Coast, Michigan, and the South, Illinois, you're going through Kenosha. This is the first place most people are going to see when they come to Wisconsin. And what does the sign say? Welcome to Wisconsin. How do you tell people from Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, welcome to Wisconsin? But hey, those edibles that you had because, whatever your condition is, or maybe you just like edibles, that you had 2 left in your little pouch. Now you're in Wisconsin, you just got to Kenosha, we were waiting for you, we're pulling you over, let's ruin your life.
Yeah.
You think the people are going to want to come back here?
No.
No, they're not. And I know people are like, weed is bad. I totally get it. I'm not saying that we all need to use it. Personally, it's my opinion that you do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, the United States as a whole is moving in that direction. And if tourism is part of our bottom line, because alcohol sales and then actual tourism is how we make most of our money, telling people that if you have a joint on you, that we're going to lock you up is going to hurt our bottom line. So just little things like that is, again, it's like we have to think, we have to be forward thinking, we have to lead by example, we have to show the state because we're in the position to show the state. We're a city, we're not a town, we're a city. We're the 4th largest, almost 3rd largest city in Wisconsin. We need to stop acting like Milwaukee and Chicago is our big brother. And we need to act like we're triplets. We were born at the same time. Hey, we're actually even a minute older than them.
Yes.
And that's the thinking that I want to bring.
Well, I know that there's not a lot you can say right now, but I look forward to seeing, hearing what you do say when you can. And not that many people don't know at this point, but how can people keep up with you and hear things as they come out?
Yeah, I would say the easiest way to hear what I have to say, we're launching a website. The website will be up soon. Just follow me on social media, Koerri Elijah, literally Koerri, only one in the world, Elijah. You'll find me very, very easily. Facebook is probably the best place, but I'm gonna be threading a lot. That's new.
Oh yeah.
Twitter's okay, but it's not an ideal place for there's a lot of wild stuff that happens on Twitter. So I've been threading. So for like live information, I'm going to be threading a whole lot. So follow me over on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, and the YouTube channel. We're going to be documenting the entire campaign on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. We're going to be providing a lot of information through our documentation, showing what it's like to run for mayor, the highs, the lows, and if you win or not. So follow the journey, support if you can, donate to the campaign, and again, it's just time for change, real change in Kenosha. And again, I'm not saying that I'm the best person. I'm saying I'm the right person.
No,
Thanks, Dan.
thank you.
Yeah,
This
of
is a
course.
big moment. I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking, man. It's nerve wracking, but at the end of the day, I'm in the position that I am to even do this because of the people. You know, I have no corporate backing. I wasn't the only person live streaming when things were going on, right? It was something about me as an individual that people liked, right?
Oh, it's
And
true.
they continue to have my back to support me, and I mean, they're also a big reason why I decided to do this. I've been seeing in my comments, honestly, for years, like, hey, you should vote for mayor. I'm like, us.
I know.
And then it just got to the point where I was like, man, it actually makes sense. So here we are, folks. Here we are. So I appreciate everyone's support throughout the years. And like I said, I'm doing this because I genuinely feel like I'm the best person for the job and will bring Kenosha to where it needs to be.
And there you have it, guys. Keep up with Koerri and follow his path to trying to be Kenosha's first black mayor
And youngest man.
and youngest mayor.